Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Izam. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I paint this orange in watercolor. I am using Tayasui Sketches Pro app on my iPad Pro. You can be using any kinds of iPad as long as you can run Tayasui Sketches Pro app. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Hey guys, so today we're going to draw an orange. Well, I think I'm going to draw a mandarin orange. And let's begin. Again, use this watercolor brush, the second brush, and set the opacity to the highest. Set the size to about 60. Change the color to about this orange. Okay, so let's just draw over here. Let's draw a round circle, something like that, and it's maybe a little bit bigger. Okay, we are done. Isn't it easy? Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is to, oh yes, before this, okay, let's have the light direction over here pointing downwards. Okay, so let's begin. We're going to have to draw the shadow, so I have another layer, and let's choose a different color. For the layer, for the shadow, we're gonna have a dark orange. So maybe brown will do. But I'm gonna set the opacity to about 60, and let's see how this works. Okay, I think this is good. Just gently put it here. Okay, and I'm going to zoom in, and now I'm just going to have the water brush just pull the color out like that and dry. I'm going to do it again, use the watercolor brush and apply one more time. Use the water brush and dry. Okay, I think we're going to come back to that again much later, but now let's do the pits. Okay, somewhat at the top, the folds at the top. So using this brush, I am going to set the opacity to about 75, and I'm going to set the brush size smaller, about 40, and we'll begin. Oh, but I think it's best that we have a new layer. Okay, let's have a new layer so that it's not destructive. Okay, let's begin, starting from the top. Okay, and let's slowly move downwards like that, and down like that. Okay, somewhat like that, and try to move down the curve like that, but not too much, okay. And oh, let me undo that. Okay, just slide. I'm just gonna get the water brush, just slowly, maybe change the size. Okay, just slowly bring it down. Okay, and dry. I'm going to do it one more time, and set the opacity higher this time. I'm going to zoom in and start again from the center, and then just going to drag it down. Maybe change the opacity lower. I think it's a bit too dark. Okay, get the water brush and just, oh, I think it's a bit too dark, so I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay, I think it is done. Then just let it dry. Alright, so now that we have this, what we're going to do next is have a different layer of orange, a much redder hue. So I have another layer. Now this layer, let's put it below this layer. So get your watercolor brush, and then I'm going to change the color to this color. It's the same color, but let's change the hue. I'm going to move it here closer to red. You see? So it's redder. And I'm going to add it. Alright. So but this time I'm going to make sure that opacity is about 80. And I'm going to change the size of the brush to about 50. And I'm just going to paint on it like that. Just keep a round. When you paint, just give it a round movement like this. Okay, just curve it. And then let's have your water brush do the rest to pull the color out, so that it will not be just a simple block of orange, just have a gradient. Okay, that's what the water brush is for. At least that's what I use it for. Okay, and let it dry. So now that we have this, I'm going to have one more application of that orange. Change the water brush, yes. And then I'm going to apply it over here. Use the water brush and just pull the color out. And save. So as you know, oranges, they have pores on the skin, right? So we're gonna simulate that by having stipples on it. So have a new layer. What we're gonna do is have this smaller brush, the first one, and yes, set the opacity to about 50. Let's set the brush size about 6, I guess, and let's set the color to maybe this brown. Alright, so let's test it out. Just stipple. I'm just going to zoom in. Oh, maybe it's too small. Okay, let's make it bigger. Alright. Yes, just give it a stipple like that. Just gently. Okay. Now for this stipple, we are going to have, let me see. Okay, just a bit more over here, and we're done. Just let it dry. This time we don't use the water brush. All right. So now we're gonna add the reflection. Have another layer. Remember, for reflections, we always use white. I'm going to set the opacity to about 60, and then change the brush size to the second one, and let's proceed by painting over here. Okay, just a small spot of light hitting the fruit. I'm going to set the opacity lower, just over here and over here. Okay, because the light is coming down here, just like that. And use the water brush to spread the color out a little. And just and let it dry. One more time. Let's do that. Use the watercolor brush, and again white, and we apply it over here one more time. Use your water brush, spread out the color, and save. Okay. So now that we have this, I'm going to add more shadow over here. So let's have the shadow layer. Tap on the shadow layer. Use a watercolor brush and change the color to the dark brown and set the opacity to about 60, and let's begin. Let's paint. Okay, maybe set the opacity to about 75, and let's begin paint it. And use a water brush to spread the color out. And let it dry. Alright. For this part over here, we have this, right? And this is the stipples, and this is the reflection. So the reflection is on the dark spots over here. That's fine, but I think let's add some more details over here, alright? So that we can see the folds at the top. So I think let's take this layer to the top, and then we will use this second brush, set the size to about 30, set the opacity to about 40, still the same dark brown color, and I'm going to zoom in so that you can see. Let's just drag it out like that. I'm going to set the size smaller a bit. Opacity, I think I'll raise it up to about 77 because I think it's a bit too soft. Okay, and let's bring it there and there. Okay, so this, let's have it like that. Okay, so now look here. Here is where you can, this dark part is where the shadows are, right? So I'm going to save that. So the corresponding area must be white next to it, okay? Because the light will shine here and cast a shadow over here. So let's take that, where is that shine? Okay, so this is where we are going to draw the, we're going to paint the reflection. So again, use your watercolor brush, take out your white color, and I'm going to set the opacity to about 70, and I'm going to zoom in so that you can see. I'm just going to paint on this side, not too much, okay? And it's a bit too big, so I'm going to make the brush size smaller and paint like that over here as well, and here. Okay, and over here. Get your water brush and just lightly make the brush size smaller and just pull it down. Okay, just let it dry. Okay, so now we can see that there is some infolding at the top. Alright? Okay, we're done. So now the next thing that we're going to do is the slice of orange. Are you ready? Okay, let's do this. So I have another layer. We will always start with the lightest color. When you slice an orange, inside the peel is a very light white, almost whitish. So let's draw a smile over here. Let's change to the watercolor brush, the second one. I'm going to set the size to about 20, and let's set the opacity to the highest. I'm going to let it dry, and let's draw a smile over here. Make sure it's not too big. Make sure it's about half the size of this orange that we've just drawn. Okay, that's it. And I'm going to let it dry. Okay, so this is the starting point. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is the orange color. So we're going to color it in. So be careful here. All right, we're just going to color it in. Let the outer part remain. Do not color that in. The top part as well. We're just going to color this in. Okay, just color it in. Okay, a solid block. And let it dry. And we're done. So the next thing that we're going to do is get the darker red hue and set your brush size smaller, and then just carefully, I'm going to zoom in, carefully paint at the edges here. And slight. Okay, and this one as well, like that. And let it dry. So we're gonna have a shadow, remember, light coming down, so the shadow will be cast on this orange. Let's have another layer. All right, and set the opacity to about 60, and let's begin with coloring in on the orange. Okay, on the orange itself. Alright, so you see that? We're going to use the water brush now and just pull it out like that. I'm not pulling it out, I'm just brushing it next to it, just next to it, creating another line, just next to it. Okay, let it dry. So that is done. So the next thing that we're going to do is the juicy part over here, alright? So how are we going to do that? So there will be rays coming out like that. So we need a new layer. We need to have that white color. So get your white color out. Remember, we're going to change to the fine brush, the first one. Set the opacity to about 80. Okay, maybe the size is about 10. Let's begin from the center and let's move from center downwards here, okay? Like that. As you can see, this is a bit too opaque. So we're going to undo and let it dry. We're going to let the opacity lower, about 60. And let's begin again. Yes, this is okay. Let's do a little bit here, okay? And have another one there, like the clock hands, okay, the dial. So that is like that. Okay, so this is our first ray. Use your water brush and just don't drag it out, just at the side. It is too big. I'm gonna make it smaller, the size, and drag like that. Like that. Okay, let it dry. So next we have the ray. So white, we must balance it with the dark. So again, use the fine brush, balance it with the dark hue of orange, maybe this one. Opacity I'm going to set to 70, and let's begin. Hold on a minute. Let's begin by having it on a new layer. Okay, so this layer, and let's begin. Again, the same way, the rays. Okay, like that. You see, So I'm going to get my water brush and just put it down next to it. And let it dry. Okay, so that is done. The thing is this fruit is right in front, kind of in front, okay, to the side. So it will cast a shadow on the orange slice. So let's have another layer and we're gonna paint this shadow that has been cast on this slice. So let's change the brush to the second brush. Set the size to a bit bigger, maybe 30. Set the color to this brown. Opacity set to 60. Maybe let's set it lower, 50. Let's see what's going to happen. We're just going to color it over here. Okay, this looks good. Just light. Okay, don't have to put pressure. Just color it in like that. And now let's use the water brush to finish it off. Just drag and pull the color out. And let it dry. And here we have. Then let's do the shadow on the ground. Let's have another layer. Tap and drag all the way to the bottom. And put it there at the last layer. And now we're gonna choose this second brush, choose the darkest brown, or maybe I'll choose this even darker, and set opacity to about 60, set the size to about 55, and let's begin. Just gonna paint. Oh, I think it's a bit too small. Okay. I think it's a bit too dark. Okay, so I'm going to lower opacity and use the water brush. Set it bigger so it can spread over a wider area. This is a bit, the color is a bit too dark. So I'm going to use brown, dark brown. Okay, use the watercolor brush. And let's continue. Notice that I use dark area here. I don't color it here so much, but I color it over here because it's always under the fruit, under an object that the shadow is darker. And let's use the water. Oh, mistake. Let's undo that. Use the water brush and let's move the paint, drag it and let it dry. We are almost done, yeah? So the next thing, let's have some fun. Have another layer. We're going to use the Indian ink brush, set the opacity to about 55, and I'm going to change it to this orange color. Okay, set the size to about 30, or maybe not 30, 20. Just tap lightly. Notice that there's some splash there. Yes, I always love that kind of thing. So you might want to do the same for yours. For this is a dark orange. So I'm going to use this color. Just tap lightly. Ooh, that's a bit too much, so undo that. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not like that. Maybe not there. Maybe, okay, maybe here. Okay, and let it dry. Use another layer. Again, the Indian ink brush. I'm going to change it to this dark, maybe this darker brown. And full opacity. Set the size to about here, 15. And I'm going to write orange. Okay. Alright, we are done. Alright, so I hope your orange turns out as good as you think it would. If it's not, you can rerun this and keep trying. So if you do like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? You can click on that subscribe button right there and you will get notifications whenever I put up new videos online. So until then, I hope you have a great day ahead and I'll see you in the next video.